So everyone, I want to introduce, Kristen is back. Kristen, say hi.
Hi.
Cool. Are you ready for the opening? Ready? YouTube!
Twitch, Twitter. We're working on that one.
All right, guys, welcome back, YouTube. Me and Kristen are here. We're doing something really cool today. We're going to be making the greatest hits mix yet. Number one thing that you want to look out for is you don't want to have those 10 to 15 minute songs like you would do if you were DJing in a club or if you had a big dance party and as you're kind of searching for another record, or, you know, if the dance floor is super hot, you know, you don't mind playing the same sound and having progressive changes. What you're going to want to do is take those really awesome moments, cut it down into 2 to 3 minute clips. Unless the song has drastic changes where it becomes like a totally different song, then sure, go with it. I kind of look at it like this. If you're taking a ride somewhere, right, and you're driving, so the thing is, somebody listening to your mix, if they take like a 2-minute drive, a 5-minute drive, and a 7-minute drive, if you think about it logically, if your songs are 15 minutes long on your greatest hits with very minimal or little change, that means that the person's going to be hearing the exact same song every time they got in their car from start to finish. I am using the absolute worst speakers. This thing doesn't even have a stand on it.
What'd you do to the stand?
This is just, it broke. Absolutely worst speakers. Reason being is because, as you guys can see behind us, our whole studio is taken down right now. So we have...
it's under construction.
Yes, we're soundproofing it, and we've upgraded to this oversized double car garage, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. But until then, we're going to be working in Ableton, doing some tips and tricks this way. And but anyways, yeah, I'm using these terrible speakers. It definitely makes me work 10 times harder. And you have to keep in mind, a lot of people do not or can't afford a really nice set of monitors. So working on a $30 pair of speakers, and it does have a small, really bad bass to it, helps, and it's a two-way set. So, you know, just throwing that out there, full disclaimer, working on some really terrible speakers, and we're not in a professional studio in any way, shape, or form right now.
This is the dirty dirt.
Yeah, this is down and dirty. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna clean these up. I'm gonna match the volume on all of them, and then I'm gonna come back and then we can actually do some legitimate, you know, remixing. But as you can see, just loading all the mixes, some are super loud, some are super quiet, tempos are messed up, but as you can see, what's going on? Cool?
Sounds grand.
She's going to be helping us pick and choose what the best parts of the song are, what we should just cut out, like maybe it's not YouTube ready, whatever. You don't want to really be adding to it. You want to use what you already have recorded. If you're going to write a new song, keep that separate. And then furthermore, if you're working with MP3s, compressed file formats, don't re-compress, okay? Don't re-dither, all right? If it's already been mastered. On this clip, we got to make -10.2 because it's a sausage. It's on our sausage. Our sausage track.
Maybe it should go by pancake. So you have pancake and sausage together. That's still my favorite song ever.
Oh, really?
That song that just goes pancake.
Pancakes.
I would have my favorite song be pancakes.
That's true. All right, so let's zoom out. Right now. This was kind of a cool part.
I like this.
And you guys got to remember too, like we're just kind of like cutting it up, you know, figuring out what parts we want to use. And then after we have everything figured out, we will decide what we're keeping, what we're not. So we're doing sort of like a soft cut edit right now. Some of these mixes are super annoying. Like you see this red one right here? It starts off almost low, but then like I got nuts near the end. So, you know, bear that in mind as you're making your mixes. As we're doing this, we want to kind of keep around that -10, but we are peaking well over 0. Okay, go take a look at that. Now, Kristen was liking this beginning of this, so let's listen to that.
Yeah, I don't know why I like that.
Okay. No, I know. That's why I made it, because I know it's good. Hold on.
That sounds logical.
I like this sort of as a better beginning right here.
Okay, I could do that. Just I like having a beat to clasp onto as your first, like...
I might combine this plus that.
Okay.
We'll see. So let's go ahead. I already set my BPM to 125. Let's go ahead and cut this. I have this one song, Mama's Gonna Make You Work, and it's got the bell in it. It's so sick. It's like, Mama's gonna make you work. Work like you never work. It's oh my God. Even like the youngins say it's.
The youngins?
The
Oh my God.
Millennials. All right, cool. So we're gonna grab from around there. I kind of want to drop into this. It's the same song with a very drastic change. Let's see where that ends. I like this. I like this a lot. This is just heavily compressed. It's just the one large sausage. So it's
Keep
cutting.
calling it that. Like, do you like saying sausage or something?
It's cutting out the dynamic range. That's
Do you like
little
envisioning it
overcompressed.
as a sausage, or like I'm just trying to get your like feel for this?
see. I like that drop in,
Mm.
but this song is long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to cut it up. Trying to cut it up.
killing it.
Cutting it up. Cutting it up. Don't worry.
Like this is way too thick in the middle.
Okay, we're gonna cut it there. We're gonna have to do some magic splicing.
Origami.
It's like,
Where
how
does
can
the
you take
sausage
from
come in? Is that your lure on your fishing pole? Sausage.
I always love horns in the clubs. Okay, there, this part is a good
That's so
break in.
long.
It is. I'll cut it up. I'll
So
cut it up.
long.
What is all of this doing here? So you can see just how long that is, right? Long story short, I cut it down, right? And I just grabbed the most exciting parts. And then I did it for, this is 1 remix, 2 remix, 3 remix, all across. And then some of them, I like 2 parts. So I used 1 part of it here, 1 part of it here. And then I actually went in taking my greatest hits, right? My greatest remixes on a lot of different equipment. So I take like the vocals from one track, and then I take, you know, the bass from another and the highs from another, and I create my own, and then I add sounds all live, mixing in analog, which is really cool. So let's talk about different ways that you can create a transition. So figure, let's say this song right here, and you know, if I go ahead and I show you some different things here are automated. So now let's go into one of the really cool, one of the a lot more complicated. So let's just go in this one right here, right? So this transition, let's listen to it as is, all right? And I will open up this one and timeless so you guys can kind of watch that happen as well. All right, so let's see this really cool transition. Now this one, right, is on this track. So it doesn't really matter if the mix is high here, the fab filter, timeless is still high, the reverb and the timeless, because as you'll notice, let me just reopen those. When I play them in the song, they're off, right, automatically. And then they fade in just on the outro. And when you're DJing live, you're gonna be doing the exact same thing, right? You're gonna be throwing a reverb, you're gonna be throwing some sort of delay while playing with the volumes to give that, as you can hear right here, very smooth transition, right? Now let's go ahead and look at this one. Let's see what this was doing. Now this has erosion, this has a lot of cool stuff. So watch this. right? So you saw that right at the end there. This popped, this went. Actually, it was just the erosion, but let's do it again. Oh, and the fab filter. It's going nuts. Boom, right? And I just made that transition super smooth, right? Let's go over another one. So in all these things you're gonna be doing, believe it or not, while you're live DJing, right? And you could even see like, sometimes you're gonna put things on loop, you know? Like you see this one, it just loops the ending. And as you're looping the ending, you know, you're doing something with it. Let's go ahead, we'll watch this one. This one has resonators in it. I mean, this one really got intense. A lot of detail in here. So watch this. Very smooth. Yeah, just super cool. Very, very cool, right? You know, there's all different ways that you can make some seriously elaborate remixes. Now you notice there's multiple chains here, right? It goes into the lexicon. I did it all different ways just because I wanted to really give you guys a bunch of ways that you can really make an awesome remix, right? So let's get this open. We got all sorts of really intense things happening in this one. 2, 3, let's open up our volcano, which might have been used in the other one. Now look, there's a multiple chain here. There's all these red dots basically signify something really cool is happening. So we'll open up our lexicon. And you know, again, all of these different things actually happen when you're DJing live with an advanced DJ setup. So let's go ahead and hear this transition. Now this is just one track. And now down here, there's a whole other list, right? Like check this out. A whole other list of things happening, volumes being cut, and you notice like, look at this chain. This is mids, lows, highs. And each one has an independent, you know, to-do happening. You know, if you see some plugins just completely turned off, that means I wind up not using them, just haven't really got them out of the way. But I mean, this transition was just so difficult. I had to put a classic clipper on there. This thing's pretty cool, by the way. I mean, some of these mixes are just really, really old. Like this one was like deleted files. I just stopped using it completely. I just deleted it. And then I said, you know what, let me just take it back just in case, because it was so poorly recorded. And believe it or not, this clipper did a really good job. But yeah, let's see how this transition sounds. See if we like it. Right, so you guys saw that. That was, let me just hear it one more time. I even had to put a little bit extra down here because that was such a difficult one with a lot of echo on it, you know, double echo. We threw comb filters, chorus, all sorts of insanity. Another volcano went on down here. Let's go ahead and just watch that. And I can go ahead and actually and that's all it's really doing, right? Now, let's go up here. Let's rewatch just the fade in on each one. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we will sample the bottom one. And that sound actually right there was a tape. Let me see if I can find it in this. It was one of, let's see if I can find it. Where are you? There was just so much happening in this one. It was just insane. Okay. Well, there is a tape effect in here. I'm looking for it. Oh, here it is. Tape stop. Oh, my Lord. This transition was so complicated. But yeah, like the vocals were just hitting too early. Yeah, basically, I think it just turns off and turns on, like play and pause. I just have no idea where that's going right now, but all right, let's hear it together. Now let's go over another transition. Now in this one, I liked multiple songs in this. So I was like, you know what? Let's keep it consistent. I thought I thought this mix actually was pretty good. Like it kept progressively changing pretty fast. And I was also watching the bottom because I wanted the changes to be every couple minutes. You know, I didn't want the songs to lag on. You can hear. So completely different than the beginning. This song happened to be a little too long, so I did cut it up a lot. And this entire mix is live right now. So if you guys want to see it, the last video I just posted, I'll try to add a card or a link below where you guys can see episode 1, and all it is this entire remix playing, and you can hear all of my skills in my greatest hits. You know, and you'll notice like this song, 23 minutes to, it kind of ends here, 28 minutes, but the second half is very different than the first half. So it's almost like 2 songs, you know, and you could see here, I did a little cut up, and even, you know, some of these had, you know, different changes. Now, another thing you need to keep in mind, I set my BPM for the project at 126, and then in here, just for example, I had to, like, this happened to be 126, but you notice the volume, right? So I had to bring it down. There's some tracks, let's see, this one. You see here, there's so much lost information. This was so heavily compressed. So actually I called this like a sausage. Like, look at this, 10.2. Let's just go ahead and bring that back to 0 so you can see what I was originally working with. Like, look at this. This is what I was originally working with. I'm not even gonna play it, it'll blow everybody's ears out. But to get it to mix and to get it, you know, to sound good with everything else, I had to bring it to minus 10.2. You know, and now it flows nicely. Here's another one of those intense transitions. Also notice, like this right here, this track was done at 130 BPMs, so it had to be brought down, had to be edited, blah, blah, blah. Now you also notice all these cuts, right? When you use a looper live DJing, this is essentially what you're doing. You're looping certain parts of endings of songs to get that transition to really work. Notice here, there's bass, right? Notice here, I cut it out, right? Use the de-esser, there was just way too much, like, high hits, and it's kind of moving in this part. I needed to really cut some stuff out, balance it out with a chorus, and it smoothly transitioned eventually. I also needed to add in some of this, you know, additional sort of loops. You can just hear it independently. I mean, very light. Very light. But this just was too long and I needed all that room. And if I go up here, go farther back. Very loud, that part. See the reverb going. Multiple verbs. Very smooth. All sorts of stuff happening. But together, again, you can't tell it all. It just sounds like a smooth, you know, transition. Let's do that one more time. See it coming in? It's kind of like your high pass and low pass filter together. And yes, things do get very tricky. You notice the reverb, and the reverb here is set to far, right? So you set it far, kind of middle of the way, bright, that's fine. Maybe dark would have been better on that. And while as this is coming in close, right? Coming in real close with this. And, you know, as you can tell, the de-esser is no longer being used, so I just maxed it out. It's fine. You know, here, you know, two totally different parts of the song that actually really wasn't mixed that way instantaneously, but the song was too long, so I need to cut it up. In here, there's additional, you know, fancy footwork. You can see this is 0. I had to drop this to negative 4.73. There's even down in here some really bizarre fancy footwork that I had to do in this last track. So what had actually happened here, something got like broken with the beats per minute. So this I had to set to 132, whereas this part is set to 126. Why? I don't know. For some reason, when it warped this much different than this. I think this warped this at 120 for whatever reason. But as you can hear, so it's fine, you know? So watch out for something like that. Okay, so like watch this. So this part is old school, right? Part of my mix. And then I had taken it to very modern house and techno. So watch this. Right? Again, before. After. Right, so this particular transition was really cool. So essentially it used erosion, had an envelope follower going. It had this right here, this like EQ sort of situation. So watch this. So let me reverse it. Okay, did you guys see that was very quick? Okay, that was this track. Now, while that was happening down here, I had pretty much the opposite. See it come in? Right? And it created that really cool effect. Verb. In and out really quick. Right? So that was a really cool effect. I really enjoyed that one. You know, we just had some parts like up in here where volumes are getting changed, all sorts of stuff happening, filter delay. I tried to do it with like all different effects, right? I wanted to make every transition unique. Let's go ahead and hear this one. And again, if you guys like this remix, I just put up a whole hour remix of this, and it's really cool. And you can kind of watch everything I'm doing now in super speed without me talking. Very smooth, right? And there's all sorts of EQing, erosions. Now watch this. So these envelope followers, right? They're mapped, like right now, look, the verb's in, far again, you know, certain things are close, certain things are far. A lot of these envelope followers are mapped to EQs because what I'm essentially trying to do is almost like a talkover effect. So it's like super smooth transition or like a side chain almost. You can see it right here. This is like more of a follower. Okay, you see how it's like automatically spazzing. Okay. Now, where did that come from, right? So that's coming from right here, this follower right here. So watch this. So when I zoom in, right, this is gonna take the action. See it build? Okay. Now watch this. Let's go back. Here it is. Slowly coming in. Right? So that's another really cool effect. And you can see here, it comes in, some talk over. A lot, look at this one going nuts. Very smooth, right? Sorts of fancy EQ work, right? So yeah, and you can see like as like look at all of these things being used just to do one or two transitions, right? A lot of different plugins. Hope you guys loved the video and let me know if you guys have any questions about this part. Awesome. I will also be doing a live DJ version where I show you guys all sorts of transitions and how to mix everything together. But yeah, but I think this is pretty cool.
YouTube!
Twitch, Twitter.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm really excited that I was able to show you guys my greatest hits. Kristen's been bopping, so what do you think?
I think I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get it on.
Cool. So this way, by making one master greatest hits mix, you're able to cut right to the chase at all times. So what else do you think, Kristen?
I think you kept it interesting. You're not making a wallflower out of somebody at the club, so you're making someone, you know, constantly moving, and I like it.
Cool. And you want to know what else too? I wanted to quickly mention some of my faults. Essentially by using some of my original mixes that were, you know, complete sausage, bass was just peaking the entire time. It was really hard to mix it with some of my newer stuff that was recorded correctly. And I also wanted to ask you guys, you know, was there a way that we could have done this process better? Or in retrospect, I really want to hear your remixes. I want you guys to post up the best of the best, greatest hits below. Just link it, you know, you can use whatever player you like, and I'd love to hear it. You know, I really want to see like what and how these tips and tricks are affecting everybody and how they're utilizing it, how they're learning, and how they're becoming better audio artists with their creativity. And I love all genres of music. So please, you know, post whatever genre of music you make. And I do also want to mention right before we go is keep everything in mind that we do here as an open mind, meaning that don't think to yourself like, hey, if Jimmy's doing this or DJ Infect is doing this, we have to copy it 100%. No, that's not what this is meant for. It's meant for you guys to take the concept and create your own creativity and apply it to different things. You know, you may see something in your rack that can apply with a MIDI controller, you know, using Ableton. And that's the beauty of this, you know. But these are the type of things and the types of tips and tricks that you don't think about. And, you know, you make this really awesome, like I said before, club mix, but you take it into the real world and it's just not going to fit for driving around, where when you're passing your music around, they're not in the club, right? So you need to make a mix that fits more or less the genre or the atmosphere it's being listened into. And that's why this greatest hits is so powerful. trying to think what else I wanted to say. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I just think this is great. You know, definitely post your links so we can keep adding to the community. I want to keep dancing, so let's go.
Cool. And I wanted to mention, actually, in our How to Pack a Professional Studio, Kristen does do some dancing, so it's really fun.
I kind of bop around all the time.
Yeah. So, you know, if you go through, you see her, you know, doing her thing.
Shuffle.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you for coming, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. My name is DJ Infect. All our good stuff is sponsored free, and I'm happy you guys are able to listen to my mix. If you want to stick around for a little bit longer, I'm going to be putting more of the editing process. I just felt like I wanted to give you guys more of a mix of me talking as well as the editing process. But if you want to listen for a little bit longer, sort of hear what the almost final remix is actually going to sound like, the remix of the remix. And then, like I was saying, once it's, you know, fully mastered, I'm posting it below so you guys can all enjoy it. And yeah, I'm expecting this video to get demonetized, but hopefully it doesn't. Either way, thanks for coming. Enjoy the master mix listed below. And yeah, it's all about creativity and learning, so we should be good. All right, guys, see you in the next one.
Check
Thanks
you
for
later.
coming.
My name is Jimmy. I go under DJ Infect. I also go under DJ Infectious. You can find me on YouTube. Check me out. You can see that I make awesome music. Click the link below. Well,